Hey guys, how you guys doing? I hope you guys had a fantastic Friday. I know I did. We made it. We're here. It's the evening, of course. I always say I'm gonna get on early, but then again, hey, whether it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I just think I am always very, very pleased to come to you guys to share my knowledge and hopefully gain knowledge from you guys. Today, I was going about my day, 5 a.m. club, get up, do my 20 workout, do a moment of reflection, and then do some personal growth. And like I told you guys, it just seems to be dropping. The nuggets, the jewels, they just keep coming. Today, it was something that came to me that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And that subject is all about for those of you who are CEOs, meaning that you're a creator, you're an empowerer both for yourself as well as others, and you operate at a high performance level. That's what CEO really stands about. That's why I created CEO 369 Consulting, my YouTube page, and I'm going to be working on my website, some curriculum, different things like that. I truly believe that from what I've learned over my 57 years and almost soon to be 30 years as an administrative officer, some things just need to be taught and need to be shared. And the subject I want to talk to you guys today about is called personal mastery. And that old adage that says, when the student is ready, the master or teacher will appear. And that has happened for me. Of course, my name is Chauncey Anderson. I developed CEO 369 as a way that I could then begin to share and to talk about that of personal mastery as well as a bunch of other topics that are truly, I believe, stored in my mindset, in my heart set, my health set, and my soul set. And I got that maxim from Robert Schaumer when I read his book, The 5 a.m. Club. And it has really stuck with me over, good Lord, I want to say, better part of this full year. And that book is just constantly stokes the fire. It gives me that which I need. Personal mastery is not just about acquiring a skill, it's about transformation in one's own self. You know, like I spoke about earlier, what are those desires, those dreams, which give you that drive that you seek to run a business, small, large, or even a medium sized business, whether it's the online e commerce business that I talked to you guys about that both me and my wife have. If you do have um, some type of business, or even if you have, a career or a job, which I call being just over broke. What is that? What gets you going that will begin to stir within you that timeless adage? When the student is ready, the master will appear. A lot of times people, ask me, what does that mean? And how can it change my life? Well, there are various teachers, various people. I told you guys that I was going to share a book with you that I read that it's a masterpiece. It's about the life of Dr. John Henry Clark, who was, a Pan African, a scholar. I mean, you talking about a master teacher. He was on a whole nother level. But this is the basis of the meaning behind that saying, when a student is ready, the master will appear. And a student basically represent anyone seeking growth, anyone seeking improvement in their life. That readiness aspect is that you're open, you're receptive, and you're committed to learning. I mean, I'm 57. I'm still committed to learning. I'm still a student of the game. And of course, as a master is not always a literal teacher, but can be a manifestation as an experience, a person, or even just simply insight that one gets that helps you to do the things that you were naturally born with, your talents, your gifts, the ability to do great things here on this earth. And I just would really encourage you to really find a way, as it says, when you're not ready, even the best of advice won't even resonate. Person give you some advice, you'd be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what does that mean? You have to be ready to receive it. You know, preparing as a student, cultivating yourself, embrace beginner mindset right there. That mindset is a critical piece. That heart set is a critical piece. Your health set, you have to be able to still be alive to be able to do things. And then your soul set, which is that spirituality that each and every one of us have. If you didn't have spirituality, that breath of life, we wouldn't even be able to be here to do things that you're called to do. So it's very important. You know, a lot of times when I started out, especially with the 66-day minimum to develop the habit to start doing the things that I said I wanted to do, i.e., learn how to day trade or start the beginnings of becoming a consultant, as well as starting our small business. I had to cultivate and develop that and mold it and shape it. And it's taken on forms like you wouldn't believe. There are great things that are happening in our lives, me and my wife, with our business, as well as with the work that we do. And, she's also not only just her and I are founders of Root Advice, but she's also a travel agent. She also does remote work in the field that she loves again, which is the medical field. So I am grateful across the board. Once you start getting that and developing that which you want to do, you also want to develop self awareness. It's a critical piece to that, understanding where you are at on your journey. Like for me, I definitely understand where I'm at on my journey and how impactful I want that to be. So when I pivot to do that next thing, I'm ready to go. I'm like not sitting there going, what do I want to do next? I'm ready for it. It's an awesome thing. Also, you got to build discipline. Growth requires consistency. And that's what Robert Sharma in his book, The 5 a.m. Club, talks about and teaches is that 20-20-20 formula, and also establishing that habit, a habit which takes a minimum of 66 days for it to become like automatic. It's like you don't even think about it. It just naturally happens. So, practicing gratitude, recognizing the value and the lesson you've already received. And how do you take that and make it into something that you want to do, personal or professional? As a CEO, I'm not just talking about someone that's in charge of a business, it could be in your personal life. That can be something that can truly help you out. And then there's this quote that says, sometimes the master has already appeared, but we're too distracted to notice. So sometimes you got to roll back. You got to think about things. Every year people have New Year's resolutions. I am glad that I am ready to step into the things that I really want to do right here and now. It's just to make things better, to become more effective and more efficient in those things that I want to do. It's truly. But before I show you this book, why don't you guys drop a comment in on the YouTube page? Let me know what it is that you've been striving for, you know, ready to be a student of, you know, because I can tell you, just like personal mastery came to me this morning, these things are just starting to flow. It's like naturally. I have a concept, I have a thought, whether I'm getting ready for work or whatever. Soon as I engage both my conscious mind and my subconscious mind, and remember I told you that third personality, Mr. Anderson, I asked him to go to work. And of course, those of you that don't know, Mr. Anderson is like Neo. So once they plug in, Mr. Anderson goes down to the lab and gets to work. And that when it hit, it was like, wow, I use those tools that are readily available to decipher, to pull out the things that I need. Sometimes I just let it marinate. It's just like, when you cooking something, you want to season it well, you want it to marinate so it gets down into the marrow, into the bones. And so you just really feel it. You ready to go. And that's what let me know what you do to get ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Not just go because it's the weekend, but what do you do to make yourself ready for your everyday things? And also recognizing the master, that situation, that person, you know, it can be a mentor. And this is the piece where I'm going to introduce you guys to the book that I have. It could even be a challenge or even a failure that you are recognizing the mastery of the things that you do. I'll give you a primary example. This morning I had, when I was at office, one of my employees, I wanted her to prepare for accessing or getting rid of some of our old electronic equipment. Just sent a message, boom, boom, boom. When you are ready, stop by the office. Want to go over a plan that you develop so we can get ready, because we also have this annual inventory by our headquarters folks. So I think when I sent that message to her and copied someone else on it, probably about 10 minutes later, I stopped by the good morning pleasantries. I asked her how her twins were doing. She just had twins and she said fine. So I said, "Did you see the email?" She said, "Oh yeah, I've already talked with her coworker. They're already developing a plan. This is what they're going to do." And I said, "Because I want to be December 16th is when I want to actually either her to start doing the thing or have the process completed about how she was going to do it." I tell you, probably no less than an hour later, she had a full write up laid out. And the coworker that she had went out to look at some stuff, and he responded to a reply, but her plan was just detailed out. Boom, 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 just ready. Being open minded, wisdom doesn't always come packaged as we expect it. So be ready to learn from anyone or anything. This is what I'm saying. And then from there, just basically you have to take action. Remember, I'm saying being a CEO is not about perfection. It's about being done with the things that you set your marker to. Once you set your mindset to something, you can pretty much do anything that you want to, and you can feel calm, cool, and collective, as well as confident about it. Because guess what? You're now starting to move towards the growth of what it is that you're pursuing. You finding out your performance level. You're also having that right perspective about the things that you want to do. Guess what? Just what it will then do is give you your purpose. And then you move on, strike on from there. There's not too much more after that can be told to you. It's just all about that growth, willing to learn. Personal mastery, personally, this is my opinion, isn't about a destination. It's a lifelong process. The true master isn't someone you find, it's a version of you evolving. You're growing. You're growing. It says when you're ready, you'll realize that the master was within you all along. So that would be my call to action to you. In the chat, drop a line. What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're pursuing? What is it that is your purpose? Is that it will eventually help you to grow both personally and professionally into a strong leader. Leadership is truly awesome. But like I said again, I want to share this book right here. Dr. John Henry Clark. But there's something in this book I'm gonna read a short snippet of it. I'm gonna just basically paraphrase it to you. When John Henry Clark had become a young adult, basically I want to say he was in his 20s. And John Henry Clark, he was born in Columbus, Georgia. And the funniest part is that the family had to wait around back in that day for the birth of the child, but it was right around dinner time. And then John Henry Clark was born. And it was understood that the family couldn't eat until he was born. But as he got older, John Henry Clark had this interest about learning. And what he had did, uh, he was like any kid in school, he would always joke around or whatever. He had his favorite teacher that told him that she did no longer wanted him to be a class clown, but that he should, truly start trying to learn. And it piqued him. And I believe also he would go work for this white gentleman. And one day he asked about his African American history. And I think the white gentleman tried to, let him down easily. And he basically said, because back during this time, um, our ancestors, our elders were enslaved. And he tried to let him down. He said, John, your people don't have a history. Now, that didn't sit well with Dr. John Henry Clark as a little boy. So, as he was going about his day, he came up on a book and it says, The Negro digs up his past while he was living in his hometown, Columbus, Georgia. And that's the ironic part because I live in Georgia. I know exactly where Columbus, Georgia is too. So when he got older and he went to New York in 1932, he made his first mission to go to find the author of this book. And the author's name was author Alfonso Schomburg, an Afro Latino. He lived in Harlem, New York, and but his work, he was a curator at the public library. And so Dr. John Henry Clark, he said, as a young man, he thought he had to make an appointment to see him. And when the librarian told him, you don't need to make an appointment, took took the stairs up 3 flights, and he told when he met Mr. Schomburg, he told him that he wanted to tell him right now at this time all about African American history. And at that point, that's when Mr. Schomburg had become his mentor. And he said that Schomburg emphasized the need that Clark to read books on world history if he wanted to develop a better understanding of Black history. I'm going to leave it right there. We have so much that we can do in this world as people all around this planet of all different backgrounds and cultures. But we have to get out of our mindset that how most people want to steer us and have us go. We have to be willing to step out sometimes on our own to develop, to grow, and to become the person who we're truly capable of being. I am so honored and so happy that I have stepped out. I've taken this risk to become a consultant, also to learn how to day trade, and to develop a YouTube channel because I truly feel like it's important for us to share. You know, um, I try to bring it the best way I can, true authenticity as a person. I like to, sometimes laugh and crack jokes, but I like to have a focus on the things that I do. And I truly appreciate the opportunity that both Google and YouTube have given me. But with that being said, I truly appreciate your time. It's about 10:15. I'm gonna grab me a bite. The Me and the wife don't have no pop-up shops tomorrow, so we get to chill. We're probably gonna go out and look at some things, pick up a couple gifts for the grandkids. one of her grandchildren. She's doing so good in school. We want to bless her. And then the baby boy is soon to be 2 and December 2nd. So I want to pick up some things for him. I call him my little man Silas. And, you know, it's just an awesome feeling. I am grateful to have the opportunity to speak to you this evening. You guys have a blessed day. And as my mentor, Robert Sharma, would say, own your morning, elevate your life. Good night.